My attitude never changed when Robin and I got married. So anybody who tries to say that I favored Robin with time or anything like that is just going off of a recency bias.
Sister Wives, Season 19, Episode 13, First Impression. And if you've been wondering, like a lot of people, what recency bias is, it is actually a real term. But it's a cognitive bias that is created by recent events wherein you will reflect on the past incorrectly and make poor decisions. Now, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a Keebler-Elf, but if I was a scientist, I'd be a sociologist, and I tell you, that makes absolutely no sense here.
Can I just say, though?
Yes.
Ever since he has married Robin, for me, he has wanted nobody else. Everyone thinks it. But that is the minute he married her, those two just, I don't know. It's like he didn't really care for any of the others.
We start the episode with Mary meeting up with her friends, and they're talking, and the friends are actually, they have very good firsthand knowledge because they both grew up in the situation, and one of them actually married into it, the one in the green shirt that you'll look at. And if you listen closely, you can actually hear a little bit of that accent. Now, I don't want to say it's like the polygamy accent, because you find it a lot in Utah, but you find it heavier in very concentrated areas. Think Short Creek, that's why they call it the Creek. Like, it's one accent I can't do it. For the most part, they're very, very astute in everything they say. There was only like that one moment of kind of like, where they were like, oh no, I'm sure you're still in his heart, and he misses you already. And I don't know if that's something that Cody's capable of, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Then they ask her, which I thought was hilarious. They were like, you gotten any aesthetically pleasing hind parts in your business? And she was like, no, oh my God. And it was just the way that she said it, but she did not say it like that. Then Mary made a very, very interesting comparison, and she said that her and Cody are like bleach and ammonia, and they're great on their own, but when you combine them, they're toxic. And I really, really need to pump the brakes at that one, because I don't know a moment that Cody's ever really been great. That's just in my opinion. And a lot of what they went through, she's saying it just didn't make sense. And she's wondering, is there a way we could have made this work?
I think it was for our anniversary. I remember saying to him, I said, how would you feel, Cody, if I was dating somebody else? Wouldn't you have these emotions of like jealousy or something? He's like, that's just vulgar.
Wait, jealousy is vulgar? Or the idea of you dating someone else?
The idea of me
vulgar.
dating somebody else is vulgar, but it's not vulgar for him to do it.
It's literally impossible to make one-sided relationships that were actually built on coercion, we're going to get to that in a minute, work. Especially, remember back then?
If I were to be giving attention to another guy, how would it make you feel?
The vulgarity of the idea of you with two husbands or another lover sickens me.
So it's one-sided, and it's not someone that really on a deep level cared about this person, so it working is just kind of an impossibility, you know what I mean? Then we get into Christine doing a lot of wedding dress trying on and stuff like that, and the jokes honestly were hilarious this episode. They definitely went to an area I've never seen in the episodes where there was a lot more adult humor than it being so like sugary sweet that you can tell it's fake.
When I married Cody, my mom and I picked out my dress. My mom made it for me. My mom made my wedding dress for me. She couldn't come to the wedding because it was a spiritual wedding. In our church, you have to be a member of the church to come to the wedding services. So she wasn't able to come. So she had the dress there for me, but she never saw me in it. So having my mom here is super important to me.
When you leave this culture, like Christine's mom had effectively done when she left Christine's dad, you are not allowed at their events anymore, and that's exactly what had happened here. If you want to know a little bit more about her journey and when she had left and how she was feeling, you can look up this documentary on YouTube called Personal Polygamy, started at 4148, Ruth Ann Stevens. The same culture that also encouraged them to distance themselves from Christine's mom for fear that she would hurt the children. And bro, she's about as threatening as a puddle of water if you've ever seen a clip of this woman, so that's great. Then a little more Cody boohooing.
I showed up for the wedding, and it was kind of like, I just showed up. I had a hard time getting work off for my own wedding because I couldn't tell my boss that I was getting married again. I had a wife. Actually, I had two.
I did he say it like that? Not to mention, in case you forgot, that's how Cody proposed down there. Well, actually, Cody didn't propose. He had Mary's sister, Teresa, propose to Christine on a card that said, let's get the ball rolling. Oh, man, that's some romance movie stuff. So I think it's good context, and it shows that, like, yeah, picking the dress was special. This was an amazing thing. And then this just popped in randomly. What are you doing here?
A wedding dress is a big deal. It absolutely is. Picking the right one, finding the one that really works for you, makes you feel special and beautiful. It's a big day to get married.
So this one, it's a little obvious, producers. You gotta be more subtle than this. It's obvious that they're putting this in with Robin commenting on the dress situation because there was a big beef back in season 1 because Robin pretended to take the wives to pick her wedding dress when Cody and her had already picked it, and they had lied to the other wives openly, and Robin said she felt like that was okay and they didn't need to know, and it ended up being this big drama. So I'm guessing that it's a little bit of like a knife in the kidney to put Robin in there commenting on Christine's dress when that's really not somewhere she needs to be commenting, but that's just my opinion. My notes literally say, "What are you doing here?" ? Now, we're going to get more into this in part 2, especially with Janelle's situation. And yeah, I saw a lot of people surprised. Y'all didn't know that Cody and Janelle were stepbrother and sister? Yeah. But we look at something Mary says, and I think it's really important to understand the context of the way that all of them went into this.
It's one of the big things that is taught is that you have to suffer in order to get to heaven. And I don't believe that.
If you're someone who's deconstructed, you know how big of a deal it is to realize those things because in their group, you are supposed to, even though they don't use that terminology, it's mostly in other groups, you are supposed to keep sweet always, even when you're upset. And that internal suffering is somehow supposed to make you better, especially if you don't tell anyone and you just paste on a smile all the time. It's actually a rewarded behavior. We're going to talk about a lot more of this in part 2 tomorrow morning. I got a pretty nasty cold and am taking myself back to bed. However, we're going to talk more about Cody and Janelle's marriage stuff and then the conversation that Robin has with her daughters. Some people have been doing some sleuthing, and I would actually really like a concrete answer as to why they did not go to Gwendolyn's wedding because stuff. Anyway, I will see you tomorrow and I hope you guys have a good day.